All right, today we're diving into a really powerful idea from Eastern wisdom, one that could totally change how you think about happiness. It's all about making a simple shift, moving away from a life where you're always chasing joy to a life where you're just, well, being joyful. I mean, think about it for a second. We put so much energy into celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, all these big moments where we're searching for joy. But what about just a random Tuesday morning? Why isn't that a reason to celebrate? It kind of feels like we've been taught to look for happiness in these very specific, fleeting moments, instead of finding it in, our actual day-to-day lives. And this way of living puts us on what you could call a pleasure-seeking treadmill. We get that temporary high from a big event or buying something new or getting a promotion, but it fades, and we always come back down to our baseline. So what do? We start running again, chasing the next external thing that we think will finally make us happy. It's just an exhausting, never-ending cycle. This quote just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? This whole outward focus, it's not an accident. It's this deep cultural conditioning we all go through. From the time we're kids, we're basically taught that fulfillment comes from other people, from places, from things. It's pretty rare that someone tells us to look inside ourselves for that same source of joy. So this constant looking outside of ourselves, it leads to this profound case of mistaken identity. That feeling that something's missing, that little hum of anxiety, all the suffering, a lot of it really just stems from this one basic mistake about who we think we are. And this slide right here perfectly illustrates the mix-up. So on the left, you've got the self, that pure, constant awareness inside you that just says, I am. It's the part that's always there, just watching. Then on the right, you have the not self, and that's everything you're aware of, your body, your thoughts, your job, your relationships. All our suffering comes from mixing these two up, from believing that we are the things on the right, which are all temporary and always changing. There's a classic analogy that explains how this works perfectly. Imagine you're walking down a path. It's getting dark. You glance down and see what looks like a snake. And instantly, your heart is pounding, you're terrified. In that moment, your mind, with just a little bit of information, has projected the idea of a snake onto what's actually there. But then what happens? You shine a flashlight on it, and you see, oh, it's just a rope. The snake was never actually real, it was just a projection. And the second you see the truth, that it's a rope, the fear just vanishes, instantly. The suffering was created entirely by the mind's misunderstanding, not by reality itself. And this, of course, leads us to the most important question of all. If our suffering is just a projection, like that snake, how do we turn on that inner flashlight to see things clearly? Well, the answer lies in a conscious, intentional practice. This path is known as sadhana, and don't let the word sound intimidating. It's not some vague spiritual concept. It's a really active, conscious process, a practice of systematically letting go of what causes us to suffer and intentionally moving toward a state of inner peace and clarity. By actually starting on this journey, you make a huge shift. You go from being a passive victim of your circumstances to what's called a sadhaka, which is basically an active seeker of truth. You're finally taking the driver's seat of your own inner world. And this whole journey can be broken down into 4 really practical steps. First, you have to know the principles, like that crucial difference between the self and the not self. Second, you have to understand them by really thinking them over until they click. Third, you experience them directly through regular practice. And finally, you learn from those experiences and adjust. See? It's a clear, actionable path. Now, it's really important to be clear about something here. The goal of this whole practice is not to become some detached robot who doesn't enjoy parties or beautiful sunsets anymore. It's not about renouncing the world at all. The real transformation is about shifting your primary source of joy. So instead of depending on what happens outside of you for a temporary hit of happiness, you start to cultivate this stable, unbreakable wellspring of peace and contentment inside you. The external world then becomes a place to express that joy, not the place you go to find it. And this is the ultimate payoff. When your default setting, your baseline, is one of peace and happiness, your entire life becomes the celebration. Getting a promotion is an expression of that joy. Dealing with a tough challenge becomes an expression of that peace. Every single moment, good or bad, is lived from this place of deep inner stability. So let's end with a question for you to really reflect on. Who's actually in charge of your life? Is it your conditioned mind with all of its anxieties and its projections? Or is it the real you? That calm, aware presence that can see things just as they are?